Hey everybody, welcome into Star Wars Republic, our show about all things Star Wars here on the Arena Productions. And in this video, episode 7 of Ahsoka, titled Dreams and Madness. So before we get into it, just want to let you know that this is going to be a spoiler-filled recap and review of Ahsoka episode 7. So if you have not watched the episode yet, please go to Disney Plus, watch the episode, and then come back and enjoy this recap and review because there will be spoilers throughout. So that is your spoiler warning. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So it's really cool here. We see like the New Republic. We see like the logo on the building of the New Republic. And then we get into the meeting with Hera, kind of like a council meeting, where Senator Ziono is basically grilling her and wanting to court-martial her. And then we get the intervention of course, C-3PO, and it was really, really awesome getting Anthony Daniels involved in this episode. It was really cool. And bringing the chip and saying that Leia, who is now the head of the Defense Council and all, she authorized the mission for Hera. And so it was really cool. And Ziona was, of course, ripping on this being from a droid and all. But obviously, Mon Mothma, of course, the Chancellor, she dismissed the meeting. And it seemed as though Ziono, when it came to the fact that Leia wanted to be notified about something like this in the future, that he stood down. And it was really cool to see C-3PO in this episode with Anthony Daniels voicing the character, obviously. So that was really cool. And it was interesting to see kind of the kind of a New Republic Council chamber here as they're doing the meeting. And then I really liked how Mon Mothma comes up to Hera and asks, personal feelings aside, how big is this threat? And Hera obviously is saying to her, expect for the worst, hope for the best. And then, of course, we get the title of the episode, and then we get into it, where Ahsoka is training. And then, of course, she is listening to one of Anakin's video messages to her about staying focused and that he's not going to be able to be with her all the time. But that she should be all right. And, it's interesting how Ahsoka mentions to Huyang that this was the last recorded message that he made for her, even though he had made tons of different messages over the time that they were together and all. But then, of course, the whales, they're getting to the destination, and obviously Thrawn had laid out a minefield. And they're flying through this minefield, and obviously they get out of the mouth of the whale, and then the whales, they take off, they jettison back into hyperspace. But, the thing that I was really, what really kind of puzzled me throughout this episode is all these ships start following them in this huge minefield there. There's no damage to the ship that Ahsoka and Huyang are in, and the pilots of these ships that were pursuing them. I mean, they missed every single time. So I mean, it's like, if you think about the episode, it's like, don't you think that they would have hit them or the ship would have took damage, especially going through that field of it was called like the graveyard of all of the old hyperspace whales. It was, that was my major pet peeve about the episode. And there were a couple more, we'll get through it later. But then, of course, Thrawn, he's wanting information about Ahsoka's master, and I loved his expression here. He was like, ooh, so General Anakin Skywalker was her master. And then obviously he has to plan accordingly, because knowing that he was unpredictable and dangerous, so she's probably the same way. And the thing about this episode is his strategy of staying one step ahead of her was what he wanted to have play out in the episode. And he was really hoping that Baylan and Sheen would be able to finish the job when it came to Sabine and Ezra. But Yeah, what's interesting about that is that, of course, we see Sabine and Ezra talking, but Sabine is just, she's not opening up and telling him really the truth, just making him guess about what really is going on, especially with Ahsoka and all. But yeah, we get the scene with Balin basically letting go of Sheen and saying that, take your place within the new empire. And I loved what he said to her about, your haste at trying to get victory will definitely bring defeat. And that's basically what happened to her in this episode. But so we get the bandits, we get all of that, we get the Dark Sisters that are able to pinpoint where Huyang and Ahsoka were hiding, and then we get another firefight there. I really loved the CGI in that. It was really cool how they're going through this minefield and all, as well as through the graveyard section of all the bones and all the rocks and everything, and a couple of the ships pursuing them collided into them. So I really love the CGI in this, but obviously they're going to get away, and so they get down to the planet area, and then we get towards the end of the episode, and of course Sabine and Ezra have to help the locals fight against of course the bandits that are coming, and the locals, the Nadi, they really reminded me in a sense of the Ewoks, and how when it came to the Battle of Endor, in a sense, the Ewoks obviously were more of a battle-hardened group when it came to their own planet and their surroundings. But this group was just, very peaceful, but helpless. And so another pet peeve about the episode is Sabine just keeps using her blasters. I mean, why isn't she using the lightsaber more effectively? I mean, she's just hand-to-hand fighting these guys. She could have just sliced them all up with the lightsabers. Ezra, it was really cool having him use his hands and using the Force against them. And then when Sheen came in, the little confrontation they had, but Sheen knocks him up against against one of the vehicles there and knocks him out for a minute. But yeah, then Ahsoka, she comes in and she's going to jump off the ship and all. And I love the back and forth between her and Huyang in this episode again. It's really fun to watch. So she gets down there, and then she gets to and meets up with Balin again, and they have a standoff. But yeah, it's like you think that she's going to finish him off, or one of them is going to die in this episode, but no. And he's just basically, he's going to go on his own path. But the question is, what is up with Balin? Where is he going to eventually try to destroy Thrawn? Because we have one more episode left. It'll be interesting to see. But obviously, Ahsoka comes in to help with Sabine and with Ezra. And then we get the reunion at the end. And obviously, Thrawn, he's talking about time is on our side now. That is something that Ahsoka lost on this day, because the cargo is mostly packed up and they're going to take off and just probably leave them behind now in this galaxy. So it's going to be interesting to see. And let us know in the comments what you think is going to happen in this final episode, because as we see in the sequel trilogy and all, we don't see any of Ahsoka, we don't see any of Sabine, we don't see any of Ezra at all. Do they get stuck in this galaxy? Do they destroy Thrawn and have to stay behind in this galaxy? And as Ezra is saying, he's really looking forward to going home. Maybe he's going to be stuck there with them. Who knows? We're going to have to find out. And what happens to Hera? Do they hitch a ride on, on Thrawn's big Star Destroyer and get back to the galaxy and have to stop them there with Hera and Leia's authorization and have a fleet go in to stop them? That'll be interesting to see. So, but one episode left, so it's probably like 40 minutes. With the pacing of this series, are they going to be able to really complete this in one episode? it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, let us know in the comments. And if you like this video, please be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell for when we drop another episode of Star Wars Republic here on the Arena Productions. So I've been your host, Expat, and really excited for next week, the conclusion of Ahsoka, to see what happens. Will they defeat Thrawn? What will happen with Baylan and Sheen? It's interesting at the end there, as Sheen is about to retreat, Ahsoka's like, I can help you. And then she leaves like, in defeat. And so what will happen in that sense? And what is it that Baylan is really looking for and going after? We shall see. But yeah, excited for it, and I'm looking forward to bringing you the recap and review of that next week. So anyway, take care, everyone. May the Force be with you. And until the next one, see you and take care. Peace out.